On today's episode of New on Music Row, we've got a hat trick for you, a quartet, and an amazing Rising Star Spotlight. So make sure you stick here, keep it locked here, stick it here, because you're not going to want to miss every single second of this week's episode. It is jam-packed with some amazing stories, some uplifting stories as well, too. And, of course, like I said, that quartet and that hat trick, all coming up on today's episode of New on Music Row. I'm Chris Miles, your host, and you can only find it here on the Rise Network. Hey, welcome to this episode of New on Music Row. It's Chris Miles here. So happy to be here with you. We're going to start things off a little bit differently than what we normally do. Last weekend was the Grammys, and we have to talk about the hat trick that happened at the Grammys. First and foremost, of course, let's talk about who won Best Country Song. Bitin' List by Tyler Childers, which a great song, and it kind of, in my opinion, the one that kind of put him on the map, so to speak. That's just my opinion. I mean, you may think that there's a different song of his that put him on the map for you, but that's just my opinion. And then a new category this year, Best Traditional Country Album. That was won by Zach Top, who, the kid, he's absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to see where his career goes. The title of his album is Ain't in It for My Health, and some great tracks on there as well for you to check out. Best Country Solo Performance went to Chris Stapleton for Bad As I Used to Be, which is a phenomenal song. And then there's the hat trick. Now, the hat trick went across two different categories, or two different genres, I should say, of music. It went across three different categories, but all by the same artist, which is kind of where I came up with the whole hat trick thing. Jelly Roll went 3 for 3 at the Grammys. He won Best Contemporary Country Album with Beautifully Broken. He also won Best Country Duo Group Performance with Amen, Shabuzi, and Jelly Roll. And then also Best Contemporary Christian Performance Song, which was for Hard Fought Hallelujah, which was with Jelly Roll, and then also the gentleman whose name I can't think of right at the top of my head, Brandon Heath, I think it was his name, if I got that right. So Jelly Roll walked away with a hat trick. And you know what? Here's the interesting thing. Somebody said to me, this is kind of funny, this past week, after they saw him on the Grammys, they were like, we can't call him Jelly Roll anymore. And I was like, oh, why is that? And they said, well, because of all the weight he lost, we need to call him Vegetable Roll. I was like, wow. That was a dad joke if I ever heard one in my entire life. So Brandon Lake, Jelly Roll, is the one who did Hard Fought Hallelujah. Just want to make sure that I got that right. I was like, that doesn't sound right. I think I was talking about another Christian artist, as a matter of fact. So let's dive right into it, of course, the show, and talk about the 5 picks from last week. Ella Langley with Dandelion, 3.5 million streams. I don't think there's going to be any surprise there. Noah Khan had 2.9 million streams with The Great Divide. Again, I don't think there's any surprise with that either. Chris Jansen walked away with 89,000 streams. Easy to Love, Harder to Hold. Check that one out. It's on the playlist, which is on Spotify. Just look for New on Music Row. You'll see the playlist. All of the songs we feature in the 5-pick category, as well as artists in the Rising Star Spotlight. And the weekly pick will feature songs from those artists and or a song that I talk about in all those categories. Up next, Flatland Calvary, 186,000 streams, Never Coming Back. Now, this song was already released, so the 186,000 streams is from last week alone. And I saw it was somewhere like number 2 or number 3 as far as the most ads are concerned for country radio last week. So Flatland Calvary starting to get themselves on the map. I remember back in the day, and I say that like it was so far long ago, but it was only a couple years ago when I was in country radio, and we had the opportunity to give away tickets for Flatland Calvary. And my boss at the time was like, these guys aren't going to go anywhere. Yeah, the same boss that said, said so many things about so many other artists as well and how they weren't going to go anywhere. But anyway, it's okay. We'll get over it. Anyway, Flatland Calvary coming in with 186,000 streams. Definitely they've got themselves on the map for sure. Hudson Westbrook rounded out the 5 picks of the week for last week with exclusive 1.1 million streams. And I don't think that's think anyone out there is shocked by that. I mean, Hudson Westbrook is really making a name for himself in country music. So moving on to the 5 picks of the week for this week, we have some heavy hitters here and a quartet. As a matter of fact, I don't think all 4 of these artists got into the room together to record the song, but I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe they did. But anyway, all 4 artists are featured on the song, so that's kind of why I went with the quartet thing. So again, these are in no particular order, but starting off with a guy from Ada, Oklahoma. I think you know who I'm talking about. Blake Shelton on the 5 picks of the week. He's got a new one out called Let Him In Anyway. I think this is going to be another one of those hits that establishes Blake and his new album, which is coming out. Of course, we featured Stay Country or Die Tryin' on the show last year, and we all know him from songs like Texas, God's Country. He's got a really cool collaboration with Rascal Flatts for Mayberry. And then, I think everyone's, well, I shouldn't say everyone's, but most Blake Shelton fans, I think, will be like, yeah, Austin is probably one of their favorite songs by him. I don't know. It is mine. That's all I'm going to say about that. Up next, here's the quartet. Haerdy, Eric Church, Morgan Wallen, and Tim McGraw. Talk about a powerhouse of a quartet. They released a song called MacArthur, and it's going to be on your radios this week. If you haven't heard it already, it'll be on the 5 picks of the week this week, right there on Spotify, so you can check it out there as well. The song was released a couple weeks ago, so as of right now, it's about 3.3 million streams. We'll see what happens with the song come next week when we reconvene and recap the 5 picks from this week. Up next was Lee Brice, Time Will Tell. He's got some new stuff coming out as well, and an acoustic tour coming out in 2026, as a matter of fact. So that's something to look forward to. The 2026 U.S. Acoustic Tour is what he's calling it. And the new song, of course, by Lee Brice is Time Will Tell. He's from Sumter, South Carolina. We featured him on the show with a song called Kill This Man. You know him for One of Them Girls. I Hope You're Happy Now. My favorite song by him is Soul. I absolutely love that song. A Memory I Don't Mess With is also a great song with him. And then I Don't Dance, which I think is a great, it's a great wedding song, as a matter of fact. It's a great song all around, but anyway. Up next, Randy Houser, Back in the Bottle. He's from Lake, Mississippi. This song has been released already, so it's got some streams, but we'll see what happens with it next week. Randy Houser, you know him for songs like How Country Feels, Note to Self, Running Out of Moonlight, We Went, and then Boots On. Running Out of Moonlight is probably my favorite song from him of all of those there. I really like Note to Self, though, too. All right, last but not least on the 5 picks of the week, we've got from Pittsburgh, Texas, Cole Wetzel making his way back. Time Goes On is the title of his latest cut. And you know Cole because he's been on the show. Well, he's been featured in the 5 picks, I should say. We haven't had him on the show. Hopefully we can. Hey, Cole, if you want to be on the show, you're more than welcome, man. We'd love to have you. Anyway, he's been featured on the show in the 5 picks. Werewolf and then Surrounded were 2 songs that we featured from his last year. He's also got some great stuff in his catalog. High Roads is a great song to check out. Someone to Talk About. Good Die Young. Damn Near Normal, and then Goodnight Kiss, which is an amazing song, if you ask me. So those are the 5 picks of the week. We've got Let Him In Anyway by Blake Shelton, which I think is going to be a huge hit for him. MacArthur, featuring that powerhouse quartet, Haerdy, Eric Church, Morgan Wallen, and Tim McGraw. Lee Brice's Time Will Tell. Randy Houser and Back in the Bottle. And last but not least, Cole Wetzel and Time Goes On. All going to be featured in the 5 picks of the week right there on our playlist on Spotify. You can check all the songs out there, as well as some other, stuff that we'll put on there as well, including stuff from our Rising Star Spotlight. Now, this Rising Star is from El Paso, Texas. I got wind of him last year when he auditioned for a show you've probably heard of, American Idol. And he got the golden ticket last year. As a matter of fact, he blew the judges away, and they were all like, wow, this kid is absolutely amazing. And you could just tell. From the moment he started playing and the moment he started singing, you could just tell that this kid is absolutely amazing. 19 years old, from El Paso, Texas. But unfortunately, last year, he decided to take a step back and focus on his mental health, which is an amazing story in and of itself. I mean, how do you walk away from your dream because you want to make sure that you're just... you want to make sure that you're right. You don't want to be off or anything like that. But here's the cool thing about this story. And if you saw, I think it was Sunday's episode of American Idol, he came back and auditioned again. and blew the judges away again. Blew me away too with the song that he had as well, Lone Guitar. Oh my God, man! It hit me in the feels like nobody's business, and we'll talk a little bit more about it. But of course, the young man that I'm talking about is Julian Khalel from El Paso, Texas. If you haven't heard this guy, man. Now's a good time to get on the bandwagon because we're going to see what happens with him in this season of American Idol. He could win this, and I think it would be an absolutely amazing story if he did. But he's got a career ahead of himself no matter what. He's got some great songs, some real, true to the heart songs that deal with, battles with depression, anxiety, and some of the mental health issues or challenges that he faces as well. Great stuff all around. He auditioned with Surrender last year on American Idol. This year was Lone Guitar. Both of those songs just blew me away. Daring to Dream is his latest single, which is just absolutely amazing. Made to Sing to You is a great song as well. And then, of course, rounding out his catalog, he's got 5 singles out right now about you. You can find them all wherever you stream your music. You can get them on YouTube as well, too. Some cool videos. I think the Lone Guitar video, if it's not Lone Guitar, it's Surrender. One of them has like a montage of videos and pictures of him when he was growing up and that kind of stuff. So it's kind of cool as well. But he's got not only a great story because of his mental health challenges, but also because he's a musician by night and then a brilliant student by day. He's actually an academic rocket scientist. He attends Stanford University, where he basically initially studied physics and astronomy because of his fascination with black holes and black matter, or dark matter, I should say. And through that, he has since shifted towards psychology. To better understand, of course, mental health. I mean, just some amazing things going on with this guy. He isn't the only talent in the family, though. If you've seen the 2 auditions for American Idol, you've seen his sister, Carissa, who often accompanies him during performances. She plays the violin or fiddle, and just to watch her play in those auditions, you can just see the deep-rooted music that's in the family, and how those songs just really impact them. Now, of course, before he found national fame, he used his talent to give back. He's hosted benefit concerts for the Migrant Refugee Center in El Paso. He's raised funds for the Nashville Foster Love Closet. He's got a pretty cool prized possession. His main guy, as he calls it, is a brand new Martin 00-18 guitar. It's a gift from his parents, and he plays it every single day. And like I said, the Comeback Kid is probably going to be one of his subtitles or I guess nicknames this year, because of being on Idol, auditioning for Idol last year, and then being on Idol this year as well. Made to Sing to You is a song that addresses personal doubt. It encourages listeners that everyone has got something valuable to offer, even when they feel defined by their insecurities. Just some amazing stuff that this kid has written. Young man. I shouldn't call him a kid. He's 19. He's 19 years old. Surrender was his original audition song for season 23 of Idol before he withdrew. It's got over 340,000 streams on Spotify, and it discusses the peace found in surrendering overwhelming anxiety to a higher power. Lone Guitar is the song that he auditioned for this year's season 24. It's an anti-suicide anthem. It was written during an intense period of his life, and the track serves as a reminder to stay one more day. The bravest thing you can do is to push through the pain and stay. So just absolutely amazing, and just really heartfelt. I mean, he's just out there sharing his story, inspiring many, including myself. Since 5 years old, he's been playing the guitar. That's when he started. Everything grew up, performed both in orchestra and then a mariachi band as well. So the kid's got plenty of roots, plenty of influences, and just an amazing catalog of songs. So we'll feature a couple of those in the playlist this week. I'll probably put in Lone Guitar and Surrender, because you've heard them from Idol. But please check out the rest of his stuff. Give him likes, give him listens, because that's the thing. The thick of it. This is the thing, folks. The more we stream, the more likely an artist is to be able to go out on the road and to bring their music to you and do more things and become what they want to do. So we have the power to give these artists the keys to their dreams. So stream. And while you're doing it, make sure you check out Julian Kalel. And I'm going to tell you that there's going to be something in his songs that are just going to connect with you in one way or another. So Julian Kalel is the Rising Star Spotlight of the week. Check him out. It's just an amazing story. I'm choking back tears. That's how real this is. So great kid, great stuff. I think you're going to love it. Moving on to country music history on this date, 1962. We've got a couple of birthdays to celebrate. We're talking, of course, about February the 6th, 1962, born in Lubbock, Texas. Lubbock seems to be like the birthplace of a lot of not only artists, but great bands as well. We've got a couple of bands in the Rising Stars, or not in the 5 picks that are from Lubbock, Texas. Anyway, without further ado, Richie McDonald, country singer, songwriter, from 1992 to 2007, he was the lead singer of Lone Star. He wrote so many of their big hits, including Amazed. He sang on almost all of them. Lone Star scored the 1996 U.S. Country #1 with No News as well. So Richie McDonald, happy birthday. Born on this date, February the 6th, 1962. And then born in 1967 in South Lyon, Michigan. Didn't think that anybody from Michigan could be country, huh? Well, we got you there. Anita Cockerham, country music singer, songwriter, guitarist, and record producer. She made her debut on the U.S. country charts with her first album, Back to You. It produced the hit single, What If I Said, a duet with country music artist Steve Wariner, and it reached #1 in 1998. So happy birthday to you as well, Anita, 1967. Taking a look at this on this date in country music history, 1971, the soundtrack album Little Faust and Big Halsey was released, composed entirely of songs by Johnny Cash. It was his 36th album overall, and the album includes tracks written by Cash, Carl Perkins, and Bob Dylan as well. Some interesting stuff on there, and an interesting soundtrack as well. So check out the movie, and then also check out the soundtrack. Moving all the way to 1982, it seems like we're taking a huge jump from 71 to 82, but it's only 11 years. Feel So Right, the 5th studio album by American country music band Alabama, was #1 on the Top Country Albums chart. The album produced 3 #1 hits on the Hot Country Singles chart. Old Flame, the title track, of course, Feel So Right, which is such a great song. And then Love in the First Degree, which is also a great song as well, too. I mean, there's not a lot of stuff in Alabama's catalog that's not very good. And if you haven't listened to Alabama yet, well, maybe you should. All right, 1997, moving on. Blue, the major label album debut. It was also the 3rd studio album by, of course, Leanne Rimes. It was #1 on the country charts. It was released by Curb Records on July 9th in 1996, right before the singer's 14th birthday. It peaked at #3 on the U.S. Billboard 200. And now it's been certified, I think, like 6 times platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America. And it's Rimes' best-selling album to date, which, I mean, of course, why wouldn't it be? Moving on to 2007, Carrie Underwood released Wasted, the 6th single from her debut album of the same name. It became Carrie's 4th consecutive #1 country single and 5th overall #1 single on the U.S. country charts. And then last but not least, some of us could probably say that 2022 was the year, and like I said, some of us, I'm going to use this very loosely, that bro country died. Here's why. Tyler Hubbard and Brian Kelly of Florida Georgia Line announced that they are taking a break from recording music together and will be on an indefinite hiatus from touring after several 2022 shows while they pursue solo careers. So there we go. Bro country died in 2022 on February 6th. I'm just kidding. I don't know. Anyway. All right. That's a look in country music history. Moving on. Let's take a look at the weekly pick. This gal landed on my radar at the end of last year. And I've been wanting to talk to you about her for a while. And, well, we're going to finally do that. She's from Fresco, Texas. And let's see. She's got, well, I should tell you what her name is, right? Because that's probably the best thing to do. Grace Tyler is her name. She's got some great stuff out there. Clean Slate is her latest song. My Mistake, Texas Hold'em. I Can Still Make It to Cheyenne, which is, she does a duet style with Max McGraw, of course, a George Strait cover. I Don't Want to Know, and then Call Me. All great stuff from her. We'll feature a couple of those songs on there as well. I won't put the cover, I Can Still Make It to Cheyenne on there, but I'll pick a couple of them, throw them in the playlist right there on Spotify for you. Now, she began singing at the age of 6 when her parents took her to her kids' karaoke nights at the Varsity Club in Frisco every single Tuesday. She's got a powerful stage presence and a powerful voice as well. But despite that, she describes herself as a very shy kid who only truly felt confident once she had a microphone in her hand. It's amazing how putting a microphone in your hand or a guitar in your hand or, you know, any other instrument or something like that can like give you power and help you walk out of the shadows, so to speak. Some interesting things about her. I think this is a thing with girls named Grace. I don't know. I'm going to do an unscientific poll on this. But I know a few girls named Grace who actually hate ketchup. And Grace Tyler is definitely one of them. She's also a morning person as well. So there's that. I know some people who aren't morning people at all. I'm a morning person, and it seems to annoy the people that are around me when I get up that early in the morning. Now, she is Tex-Mex obsessed. Whenever she returns home to Frisco, she must visit Micochina and then Hutchins Barbecue as well. That's probably Mikoshina, right? I don't know. Did I say that right? My producer's not even paying attention to me. So, yeah. All right. I'm sorry that I butchered that. It's a great restaurant in Frisco, Texas, though. Check it out. She's a sand volleyball competitor. She's an athlete. She plays in Sand Volleyball League in Nashville and admits to being quite competitive. And she's got a really interesting storytelling aspect to her. She views her songs as time capsules that capture specific emotional moments. Her debut EP, Everything I Didn't Say, was raw, testimonial, and it served as an outlet for things she felt she couldn't say during a difficult breakup. She's got a huge following on TikTok. This is kind of where her career kind of had the breakthrough. My Mistake was viral in TikTok in 2021. It passed millions of streams eventually, and that's kind of what put her on the map. Lee Brice has mentored her, and she's collaborated on a couple of songs with him as well, Bad Boy and Cowboys and Tequila. And if you're going to be in the Nashville area on March the 5th, you can check her out at New Horizons. It's an artist showcase. Or if you're going to check out Lee Brice's tour, the 2026 U.S. Acoustic Tour, she will be opening up for him there as well. So a great artist to check out. Grace Tyler, I think we need to send her a little bit more love. She's my weekly pick of the week. Like I said, remember, the more you listen to these songs, the higher the streamings go, the more likely you'll be able to see them live. Now, of course, with Grace, you're going to be able to see her live if you go check out Lee Brice's 2026 U.S. Acoustic Tour. So do yourself a favor and check her out there. You can also listen to her music in our playlist on Spotify so you can get a feel for who she is and maybe some of her stuff will resonate with her. Now, last but not least, shows coming up this week. I've been telling you that we've got some really big shows coming up. I feel like she'll be like, it's a really big show. But anyway, so yeah, that's happening tonight at the United Center, or as we like to call it, the UC. Rascal Flatts, Chris Lane, and Lauren Elena will be opening for them. Going to be an amazing show. Tickets are still available, so you got some time if you want to go check it out. And you know, have some fun. Maybe you'll even hear Life is a Highway. I don't know. We'll see. If you're in for more of a smaller venue, Joe's on Weed Street tonight is featuring Baker Blankenship. He's got some great tunes. He's an up-and-coming artist. Maxed Out and Jailbreak are some of his bigger tunes that you probably know of his. And then tomorrow night, the 7th, at Joe's on Weed Street, Tyler Farr is going to be there. Now, you know him for that song, Redneck Crazy. He's got a bunch of other hits as well. Tyler Farr going to be at Joe's on Weed Street tomorrow night, the 7th. So that's a look this week into what's new on Music Row. Find anything amazing? Did you learn some things? Did you learn about some artists you may want to check out? I don't know, Grace Tyler, did she strike a chord with you? Or maybe you're really interested in checking out Julian Kalel. American Idol is the place to watch for him. I'm going to be watching him to see where he goes. I'm really excited to see what this young man's career ends up shaping up to be. And of course, the 5 picks of the week: Let Him In Anyway with Blake Shelton, MacArthur, the quartet there, Haerdy, Eric Church, Morgan Wallen, and Tim McGraw. Lee Bryce's Time Will Tell, Back in the Bottle, Randy Hauser, and then Time Goes On, Cole Wetzel. And that's the show. So we'll see you next week with another grouping of 5 picks. We're going to be on location, so you'll get a little bit of a different backdrop behind me and maybe some interesting insights to some stuff. I've got an artist lined up for you. I think you're going to love it. But that's not till next week. So check out this episode and all the other episodes on YouTube. You can also check them out in audio podcast form on Spotify and Apple Music and other places you can stream podcasts as well. But that's going to do it for the episode. Thank you guys so much for watching and joining us and listening and doing all the things you do. Like, share, subscribe, send it out, get the word out, because we do new episodes every single week. And until next week, I'll see you on the flip side.